And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
I must confess to you, one thing I love about the holidays, people force you, I use that term loosely, force you to slow down for a moment and just relax. Hey, can you stop by? Can you slow down? Can we just mellow out for a moment? Welcome to Effective Communication. Phil Zeller with you. And that's the beautiful thing about the holiday season. If you're like me, you like to go, and make lots of things happen in your life. And it's always wonderful when your family says, hey, we're going to take a time out. It's the holidays. Everybody else is taking a time out. We're taking one too. And it's a beautiful thing when you can just slow down for a moment. It really is. And maybe I'm getting older now and I'm appreciating it more than I used to. But it's a beautiful thing where you can just stop in a moment and just take it in. I mean, truly just stop in a moment, take it in and experience, like during the holidays, it's amazing. Just the warmth of a fire. If you have a crackling fire going, just the warmth of the fireplace, maybe a nice hot cocoa or a hot tea or coffee in your hands, and just being there for a moment, just letting it soak in and just being. And then, oh my gosh, to think that I can actually squeeze out of the room and go take a nap for a few minutes, that's an amazing thing too. So the holidays put you in a position, if you take advantage of it, to just slow down for a moment. Just slow down and take in what you have. As Dale Carnegie said, count your blessings, not your troubles, right? Fill your mind with positive thoughts, health, hope, happiness, all the things that are going to bring you joy, and let those thoughts fill your mind. And when you do that, when you're in that moment and you just look around and you start to count those blessings that you have, it just brings that warmth all over you. Well, it helps with the fire and the hot cocoa too, right? Well, the amazing thing is how our surroundings can influence us. And we don't always think about that, but you go during the holiday season, and I mentioned you're forced, in air quotes there, to slow down for a moment and take a break. But what if you could do it throughout the year? What if there's other times you could take a break? What if you could take a break from the negativity? Just get the negativity to go. Wouldn't that be amazing if you could take a break from the negativity in your life? Well, I got to tell you a story. I'm so glad you're here today because you're going to love this story. So I met a gentleman, his name was Jim, Gentleman Jim. And Jim took a Dale Carnegie course. And I remember him going through the course, and he challenged himself. He really prepared for every session, and he really wanted to improve his life. And he was so focused on changing his disposition to be more positive that he took to principle number 1, don't criticize or condemn or complain. And he shared with me, this is something I would like to get out of my life and out of my family's life. And I said, well, what do you want to do to make that happen? And as we talked about it, he said, well, the first thing, I need my family to understand this first principle of Dale Carnegie, don't criticize, condemn, complain. So over the next several months, each one of the family members took the Dale Carnegie course. And they all learned through their own experience the value of not criticizing, condemning, or complaining. And once they all went through the course, they got together and said, hey, let's bring this positivity into everything we do. Let's influence ourselves as a family unit. And so he went out and bought a fishbowl, just a regular sized fishbowl, the kind you set on your desk, and he put it on the kitchen table. And what they all agreed to in the family is that if anybody criticized out loud and somebody else heard it, that person would put a quarter into the fishbowl. And of course, they were catching each other being negative, and they were influencing each other because every time they did, they had to put a quarter in the fishbowl. And some people say criticism is a hard habit to break. But when it costs you a quarter every time you do it, you start to train yourself, and you're influenced by your environment not to do it so much. And before you know it, the fishbowl was full of money. And when they took a family vacation that summer, they decided to take the fishbowl down and change it all in for some mad money, some cash. And they turned that cash into a good experience when they were on their trip. So whether they wanted to go out to eat, to a nice restaurant, or they wanted to go rent a jet ski, or whatever they wanted to do, they used that money toward that. to condition themselves to turn the positive side of things, take a negative situation, make it positive. So my challenge to you is take a note from what Jim did with his family and influence yourself and your family throughout the whole year, not just the holidays, to count your blessings. And make your life positive by removing the criticism in your life. So go buy a fishbowl. And if you don't buy a fishbowl, do something else you all agree to that will make every day positive throughout the entire year. You deserve it. Now go make it happen.